Around 2010, the gaming world was dominated by several MMO titans. Just to name a few: Club Penguin, Toontown, Pirates of the Caribbean Online. Yeah, I bet you forgot about that one. Free Realms, Fusion Fall, motherfucking Monkey Quest. Do you guys remember Monkey Quest? These commercials have the George Lopez effect on me. I still have such distant, yet vivid memories of these. Sadly, King's Fall and all these games have all but shut down. But what if I told you one of these MMOs was still alive, albeit crippled, and I had, like its oddly dedicated fanbase, been semi-consistently playing it for 12 years. This is the story of the last samurai, the last dragon, the lone survivor from a dynasty of former glory, Wizard101, and why I think maybe, just maybe, you'd like to give it a shot. Wizard101 is a turn-based MMO card game released in September of 2008. For reference, Minecraft, a game so heavily praised for its durability, pun intended, didn't release its alpha until summer of 2009. The gameplay is simple. At the start of every turn, you gain a pip. The pip enables you to use a certain level card. You click a card, click an enemy, animation plays, you deal damage. But as you progress through the story and game, you gain more and more cards. Some cards give damage multipliers, shields, more damage for more pips, etc. The majorly unique thing about Wizard101 is it doesn't have a class system, but instead different schools of magic you can choose. Storm School is like a glass cannon, Ice is a tank, Life's a healer, Myth, fucking garbage, King's out, please restore to former glory. There's even a cute little quiz you can do to determine what school you should be. Oh boy. Balance? But I'm not a pussy. Along with this, players can buy or equip gear earned from crafting or boss drops to boost their stats. All these elements provide for a diverse set of surprisingly creative and intricate approaches to playing the game. This is not to be confused with a balance game, but we'll get into that later. In its 12 years since release, Wizard101 has become a long game. If you're efficient and don't get sidetracked, completing the game is somewhere in the ballpark between 150 and 200 hours. The story is broken into 3 arcs. The first arc is the one with Malistaire, the cover villain of the game. He's the emo looking dude from all the commercials back in the day. This was a story initially released with the game, and it's surprisingly good for a children's card game. Malistaire is actually a deep and surprisingly emotionally complex character. It's not just, oh, this guy's wearing black and has a mustache, he's evil, let's go kill him. As you travel through the various worlds in the game, you see the anguish he has caused people. And at first he's kind of painted as just like this Voldemort character, pure evil, wants to destroy everything. But as the story progresses and you unravel the backstory, you begin to understand his motives and the line kind of gets blurred. And I can't say much more without spoiling the story or at least taking something away from your enjoyment of it. But if you're going to play through Wizard101, just remember the quote: "A hero will choose the world over you, but a villain would kill the world for you." Arc 3's story is also pretty good. It's a lot more complex and detailed, and there's a lot more going on, a lot more characters, but it's just not as deep in my opinion. There's a lot going on gameplay-wise and atmosphere-wise in the worlds and to keep you interesting, and I mean the story still is pretty good. But it's just, in my opinion, not a masterpiece like the first arc. You're probably wondering, well Zaret, what about the second arc? We don't talk about the second arc in my household. Alright, now all the WizHead purists, brace yourselves because I'm about to say something controversial. The Wizard101 community is one of the best parts about the game. I know, don't break down my door, just hear me out. There's a common joke that everyone that still plays this game is trapped by some ancient curse to play a children's card game to the end of time. However, the community is surprisingly mature and welcoming. I'm willing to bet that Wizard101 has one of the oldest player bases of any online game. It's most likely due to the fact that the initial 8 to 12 demographic that played are now 18 to 24, but people for the most part are genuinely helpful and want to see the game grow. Now, there still are a lot of bad apples who are unbelievably toxic, and of course the Commons has more predators than Reddit and Discord combined. Oh boy, the Commons on Ambrose, what could go wrong? Oh shit, they're beefing! Oh, she's not even mad though. Oh, she called her hat odd? Oh! She's 20 though. She's 20 though. What a comeback. You're 30? His hat is cool. Wait, what? His hat is hot and cool and attractive and alluring and magnetic. Like a himbo? What is that even? What even is a himbo? Alright, that's enough comments for today. Wolf Stormblade who wand hits all your feints still exist. But after a shitty day when I'm questing late at night because I've disassociated or can't sleep, I've met some of the most chill and genuine people in any video game I've ever played. And I think most Wizard101 players could share similar stories. Now, I've praised this game like it's the most perfect game of all time, but it has a lot of problems. Firstly, the ancient membership system. You can't just buy the game. The first couple areas are free, but after that, you have to pay a monthly membership to access the rest of the game. This turns a lot of people away, and overall it's just pretty fucking stupid. The reason it stayed around is because it is the reason the game has been able to survive as long as it has. The game, like most games, is infuriatingly unbalanced in PvP. I had to retire from PvP in this game because there were just too many wheelchair strats and schools that would just humiliate me. I also don't want to work a full 40-hour work week gathering treasure cards. If you take the time at your specific level to grind for the metagear, the game becomes trivially easy. You can moonwalk with your dick in your hand through most of this game if you have the metagear. Microtransactions in this game, like in all games, are a growing problem. A lot of gear in this game that has become semi-competitively viable has become locked behind paywalls. While it's not quite pay to win yet, the game is slowly drifting towards it, which is never a good thing. But without a doubt, the biggest problem I see in this game is the second arc in the game's length. The first arc does not really challenge you a whole lot, but players are just learning the game, and combined with nostalgia and the story, it can carry you through without you getting bored or discouraged. And by the time you get to the third arc, the gameplay and bosses are challenging and complex enough to keep you engaged. But the fucking second arc is such a dragged on grind. The gameplay just becomes so stale. You're wandering through random ass worlds doing random ass errand quests. I've played through it 3 times and I genuinely couldn't tell you what's going on for at least 99% of the story. If you have an ounce of cognitive brain function, you won't ever really come close to dying in the second arc. But you can't just skip it, you have to play through it to get to the third arc. And the end game and third arc just have so much more to offer, and it's really one of the most fun experiences I've had in any video game, but it's locked behind such a great wall, and this wall is just such a turnoff for new players because they're going to have to climb Mount Everest to get to the really good part of the game, which just should be accessible in the first place. It just angers me so much. Now, the question is, should you play the game? Short answer, yes. I know, I kind of just shit on the game, but hear me out. I know the membership system is really unappealing, but just try and buy 1 month for $10. Where else is $10 going to get you nostalgia and 200 plus hours of gameplay? You're going to get way more bang for your buck than if you were going to buy Call of Duty 47 Advanced Boat Warfare for $60. My suggestion would be to get a group of you and at least 2 friends and just fucking go for it. Fuck metagear, fuck doing things the most efficient way possible. Don't Google and research everything about the game. Just dive in headfirst and have some fun. Like when we were kids. I promise you'll get at least something out of it. I have a love-hate relationship with this game, but at the end of the day, it was a big catalyst in who I am today, and I really just want to share it with as many people as I can.